Welcome to Paranormal Living, formerly known as Light Talk. Well, today we have a great guest or two guests with us today, and I'm excited to have them on. We're going to go ahead and get started with the first one, and then the other one's going to be joining us as soon as she can get on. So here we go, and welcome to the show, both of you, in case she doesn't show or comes in later. But welcome both of you, and we'll go ahead and get started. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Barbara Lamb, Lamb, and I'm being interviewed on this show because I have done many, many years since 1991 of regressing people, hypnotic regressing people, to their extraterrestrial encounters that they have had. So in all of those years, between 1991 and now, it's amounted to about 5,000 people whom I have individually regressed one by one, who have had experiences with the other beings. And the experiences have a very broad reach and a broad grouping of beings too. Not every person gets visited by the same type of extraterrestrial being. There are many types of extraterrestrial beings that visit people and typically take them away for an hour or two and do a whole variety of things with those people. So this has been really fascinating work, and I'm continuing to do it today with in-person sessions and online sessions for people who are too far away to come to me. I'm in San Diego, California, but that's no barrier. I regress people from various countries as well as from all over the United States. So when we want to talk about the experiences, they vary a whole lot depending on the visitors, depending on who those visitors are. They seem to come from quite a number of different species. Some of those species are ones that many people have heard of, like the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Sirians, and so forth, and the reptilians even, and the little gray beings from Zeta Reticuli, and even more than that. Sometimes they are described by the experiencers as being something I don't recognize as a particular category. But anyway, there are a lot of beings who go way out of their way to encounter human beings. And it seems to be for a whole variety of purposes. And the purposes that seem to come through the regressions that I do are, I would say, mostly positive, mostly favorable, even helpful to the person. Even though the person might experience being examined physically and really wondering what's going on, many people will find themselves in one of these experiences on a medical type table somewhere else, usually in what they describe as a round.
Oh, we lost you, Barbara.
That
We lost you there. Repeat that last little bit.
okay, that many people find themselves on a medical type table in a round room, which is very brightly lit, usually round white walls and white ceiling, and usually with unusual types of beings around that medical table doing something with the person. So that can be very, very frightening to a person, wondering where they are and who are those beings or what are those beings and what are they doing. But in so many regressions, we find out that the beings are really being benevolent to the person, even though it doesn't seem like it at first to the person. But they're checking the person's physical body to see if there's anything wrong going on inside to be repaired. And if there is something going wrong inside, the beings will either tell the person to go to their doctor when they're back home again and ask about that particular part of their body. There may be a problem there, so please check it out. Or, even more likely, if the beings find something wrong in the person's body, the beings will go right ahead and heal it. So the healing seems to happen in many forms, which often seem mysterious to the person until they realize that this is for help. Anyway, the beings do healing usually with light. So that means it could be like a long-looking flashlight sending out light, or it could be light from the hands of the beings, light and healing energy, or it could be just a total infusion in light, or a couple of people have described light looking like a rolling pin, rolling up from their lower body right up through their torso and through their head, if that's where the problem is, and the light coming out of that rolling pin looking object is really doing the healing. So there are many, many cases that I have worked with and others have worked with as well of healing on the ship by the extraterrestrial beings. So the people really appreciate that. And sometimes they're healed by these visitors right in their own bed at home. I know a number of situations of that, and that's wonderful too. That's even easier for the person just lying in their own bed, and the beings come and heal the intense ear infection or stomach problem or whatever it is, heart problem. Some very serious problems, even stage 4 cancer has been healed on some occasions by the extraterrestrial beings. And then many of these beings give messages to the people whom they take, and they give messages even during those visits, those experiences. And then sometimes just they give messages when the person is going about through life and gets channeling, gets downloads of messages in their head. So they don't see anything, they don't go anywhere on those occasions, but they do get messages, lots of information. And in some cases, that information is very specific to them. In other words, it's a kind of guidance, particularly designed for them, or sometimes it's messages more in general for the world. And some of those people who channel messages of that type go out of their way to share those messages. Now, Dorie, whom we're going to be hearing from, is one of those people who channels extraterrestrials, and she has been sharing messages in books, and she and I are going to be writing a book together, and we're focusing in the book on the hybrid program. So many of the experiencers I have worked with either are an ET human hybrid living here on Earth. And then many of the people I regress, are not necessarily hybrids themselves, but they have found out that they have hybrid children. And usually the hybrid children are living on the ship with
Right.
the ETs because they're not human enough looking and functioning to be living here. So there are two major categories of hybridization as I have been learning about it. And one of the categories is the hybrids who were born here and live their whole lives here, and they look perfectly human, but they do have extraterrestrial DNA in them, and that means that they have special abilities that those beings have that have been given to them through the DNA. So, focusing for a minute on the hybrids who live here, um, they know from very early childhood, even when they're just little toddlers, having been born here of a regular human mother, they learn from a very earliest age, they feel that they are different somehow, different from their parents and a little bit different than any of the other little children they know or any of the relatives.
Right.
And for a long time, they don't know why they feel different. And one of the characteristics is that they often look up at the sky a lot and really feel that their real family is somehow up there in the sky on other planets. In other words, extraterrestrials. And so when they tell their Earth parents that they are not their real parents, that they know their real parents are up there in the sky, of course, that's kind of a mystery for the Earth
Right.
parents. And they say, well, no, we watched you being born. We are your parents. We know that.
Right.
And the little one will usually say, well, yes, that may be true. I may have been born here, but my real parents are out there. And these children begin from a very early age to begin by having visits by that family from out there. In other words, the extraterrestrials who had given their genes to make up this child. And they continue throughout their whole lives to have many visits from these beings. So instead of being afraid of the visits, as many people are, they welcome these visits. It's like, coming home again. And the
Right.
visits are very kindly and very loving to them because they have helped to create them. So, from the point of view of the hybrid having extraterrestrial visits, it is a really
Sorry.
wonderful thing. And then we could go on talking about the hybrids who are not human enough and live their whole lives either on the ship with the extraterrestrial beings whose DNA they have, plus the
Hmm.
human DNA, or sometimes they live on other planets and don't really come to Earth. Although now there is a program going on. We know about this mostly through the channel Daryl Anka, who channels an extraterrestrial being named Bashar.
Hmm.
And that information informs us that there is a big UFO ship full of hybrid children who have more than average amount of human DNA in addition to their own extraterrestrial DNA, and they are in the air, not too far, just a few thousand miles above the Earth, and they are waiting for people on Earth to be open enough and receptive enough for them to land and unload and live here. So that may be happening. It's sort of in the process. As far as I know, it hasn't actually occurred yet, but that is in the making. So we will see about that. So has Dorie been able to join
Yes,
us
I'm
now?
here. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you? Hi, Dana.
Hi.
We
Yeah.
are going galactic, girl. We are on the ship. Look at, we have Barbara Lamb, the legend here. I have a spaceship back there, and you
Yes,
home. And
very
Dana,
Like
uh,
impressive.
yeah,
the
it's gonna be a fun one
skies.
today. Yes, it's gonna be a fun one today. We're all the way on the in the galaxy on the spaceships today.
Good, good, wonderful.
Excited,
Terrific
excited,
background.
ready.
I'm ready when
Uh,
you are. Yep, absolutely. I just
Yeah.
have some Powerade and ready to go. I
Okay.
apologize. I don't know what was going on, but I'm ready whenever you're ready. So, hi,
It's all
Barbara.
good.
okay,
Yeah,
so
Barbara
we,
was just talking to us about some of her experiences and where things are kind of heading and what's going on with the experiences she's had. So
Oh,
um,
right.
now
She's
now that
she's a
you're
legend. She has all the info.
yes, she does. She's been awesome. She's just got so much information going on there. It's been awesome.
We
Love
want to
it.
hear about your experience too. You should share it at some point, if it's relative, because you had
Yeah,
some
sure.
experiences personally.
Yeah,
oh,
That
she
might be.
does.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. She's an experiencer, Barbara. She was telling me about that. So maybe it's a topic of conversation.
Well, first
Good.
of all, let's get to know who you are. Can you introduce yourself and tell us some
Yeah.
stuff about you?
I'm a human.
Mostly, mostly.
Mostly. We have, thanks to Barbara, I've been able to connect to my own hybrid connection. So more to come on that. But I have, well, obviously, I'm a star seed, or however you want to understand it. But I've come from the other part of the world on Earth. I come from the Middle East, and I was born there, and I had sort of like a very traumatic kind of childhood. And eventually, I've always been gifted. I always saw auras and such, and were able to feel energies, see energies, but it was never safe to share that. But eventually, when my family was able to immigrate to the United States, where we had more freedoms, and eventually, I personally, went to college, joined the military, in the Air Force. I was a nurse, and I was doing military linguistics and all the things. But parallel to that, I've always been psychic. Like I've always heard, and I always go to get readings, like you, like mediums, and I've always been interested in cards. But you just never know why your soul is, and Barbara mentioned Bashar. It's like when you fall, your soul tells you where your excitement is, where your lineage is. And that's always been an interest of mine. And eventually, as I was doing my PhD in psychology, I got into hypnosis and hypnotherapy and Dolores Cannon and Barbara Lamb, and I started, so I just started following that thread of all the different modalities, and eventually some of my own gifts were, now I was able to like own them, and they were activated, and just doing galactic readings and finding out that I'm a star seed. That was just so emotional, when I realized that there was always something out there, that I always felt like there was more. And it just, why did I feel like I was just crying in third grade? I think we were just, I would just cry for no reason. And I would look up at the stars, and my mom's like, I don't know what's wrong with her. Is she depressed? Like, and we just didn't know.
No,
And I remember that I didn't want to do anything. But now it was a lot of that. So that brings me here to learning about the galactic readings and hybrids, and just being obsessed with Barbara. working with her, working with her now about my experiences. And I truly believe that I have a galactic mission, meaning, well, it's Earth mission because Earth is the celestial, she's the most celestial being, right? She's hanging in the galaxy. But it's just really owning that and understanding that, connecting us not just with our Earth family, but really allowing us to meet our multidimensionality and accept the parts of us that may be coming from other parts of the universe and galaxy and the multiverse, and just really allowing for that to come in. We sound crazy. It's as a visionary, everyone's like, okay, it's a fiction, but that's okay. When you watch Marvel movies, how do they know all these things,
I
So
wonder that too.
that's where we are. Yeah. So,
And
and
that's
that's,
from
that's me.
that's from way back, comics, even in the 1930s, when my brother used to collect comics. Um, there was a lot of interstellar travel and interstellar interaction. And of course, we thought that was all science fiction. I grew up for many decades, thought all of that was science fiction. And then in 1991, when people started coming to me for experiences that they had had, they wanted to find out in regression, what really, really happened. And it was then that I began to be convinced that, wow, some people really are visited by beings from out there in space. And a whole bunch of different beings, apparently from different species, different locations in space. I wouldn't even know how many there are who visit people, but some people have done real research on that. And a friend of mine, Craig Campobasso, has determined, I think, that there are 68 different species of extraterrestrials that we know about, maybe more, but when they're from, and they visit humans and do visits and what many people consider abductions. And then there's a woman named Elena Dinan, and she has determined that there are more than 100 different species, well over 100 different species of extraterrestrials who visit humans and do actual experiences with them. So actually, even though we don't hear about it a whole lot, certainly not in the mainstream news, but there is a lot of activity going on. And there was a Roper poll back in 1991 that determined that there were 5 million Americans, 5 million Americans who were having these experiences with extraterrestrial beings. And then there was another poll in 1988 or 89 by another polling group, and they determined that there were 8 million Americans who were having these extraterrestrial encounters. So that's only America. And that's a lot of people, of course.
And that's
And it
minus
is
one.
okay. And they are, or it is a worldwide phenomenon. People all over the world are reporting, one by one here and there, reporting that they too are having extraterrestrial encounters. So right now, it's very interesting and I think quite wonderful that the United States Congress is having hearings about this. They are focused mostly on the crafts, a little tiny bit about the beings in the crafts who are definitely not from here. So it's beginning to come out into the public, at least in the United States, more. But then there are some of us, like Dorie and myself, who have known for a long time, decades, that this is real and people really are having experiences with these beings coming here. So it's a very big thing going on. And definitely not everybody is being touched personally by this, but many, many people are. So I think the exciting thing is that it's all opening up so much more. We're learning so much more about space and the galaxy and the different civilizations living out there and their interest in us. And one of the extraterrestrials said, actually personally to me, that one of the reasons why so many of those beings are very, very interested in planet Earth is that planet Earth has more species and subspecies and sub-subspecies than any other place. In fact, we have more species on Earth than all of the living species of all kinds on all of the planets in the whole cosmos. It's
Wow.
concentrated mostly here. And then, of course, they're very interested in the people here as well as the other species. So that's why we, this one little planet out there with so many others, seem to draw a lot of attention from these other beings. And they have found that as they get to know us better through these individual contacts they have, they realize that, we have advanced and developed in many wonderful ways from earlier times, but we're way behind in development in certain other ways too, except for the occasional individual like Dorie, who has a lot of psychic abilities and has the ability to just very naturally, easily channel these other beings and many other skills that she has that most humans don't have or don't know that they have. But they take a real interest in Earth, and many of them want to sort of upgrade our consciousness. And that's one of the reasons why they make hybrids who can live here on Earth, and they make star seeds like Dorie, who devote their lives to learning and to helping to raise the consciousness of humanity. And they also, in some cases, send walk-in people. And a walk-in is a soul from somewhere else. It might be in the extraterrestrial realm, or it might be in more of a spiritual realm. But the walk-in wants to come and help humanity, raise the consciousness of humanity. And instead of doing the usual route, which is reincarnation as an embryo fetus in the womb and be born as a human and have to go through babyhood and childhood and teenage years and early adulthood before really getting into their work. Instead of doing that normal route, they take a shortcut. And that means that this soul looks around and finds a soul of a person living on Earth, the soul of a person who really doesn't want to be here in life anymore. That person may have certain difficulties and physical things going on that are just very problematical, and or maybe for other reasons they just don't want to be here anymore. So those two souls get together and make an agreement. It's a very mutual agreement that at a certain point in time, the incoming soul will join the person in body just when that soul is leaving the body. And that soul just goes on into the spirit realm, which we all go into after we physically die. And the new soul, the walk-in, the incoming soul, takes up residence in that person's body, in that person's life. So we have a number of walk-ins with us, and they are here totally to help, totally to educate us and raise the consciousness of humanity. And they are few and far between, but they are absolutely wonderful. And they're beginning to have quite a lot of recognition, quite a lot of influence on humanity for those who care to learn from them, learn higher consciousness, more spirituality, more totality of existence from these wonderful people. So I think that we're very fortunate that we have people like that among us. It's really exciting, and I have had the privilege of knowing some of these walk-ins, regressing several of them to their origins as another type of being, and then making the decision and coming in and making the exchange with the outgoing soul. And it's really a very benevolent process all the way around. The one who didn't want to be here just gets to go on and live a wonderful existence in the spirit realm, and without the problems that he or she had in this life, and can, of course, incarnate at some other point down the road if he or she wants to. And the walk-in has a chance to actually be here living amongst other humans and doing the work that they would like to see done. So you can imagine how challenging that must be for a new soul from an entirely different place, even as either a spiritual realm or an extraterrestrial realm, suddenly being in a human body, in a human life, and that person whose body they are in usually is already married and already has children, although in some cases the walk-in happens at an earlier age of the person and they don't have those particular relationships. And the original persons already had, of course, a family, their own family, their parents and siblings and grandparents and so forth. So the new walk-in taking over that life has a lot to adjust to and a lot of people to get to know. And of course, a lot of those people in the family of the original person, they do not even know about walk-ins. So in many cases, they're totally baffled why suddenly that person who looks exactly the same seems to have a whole different personality, a whole different outlook, even a different way of speaking, different whole set of interests. So it involves quite an adjustment on
For
each part.
everybody.
And yes. And some of the original families, maybe never understand about a walk-in, but they certainly know that this person is really, really different. The whole focus is different. So whatever the focus was of the original person, the one who left, the focus usually changes entirely. And now with the walk-in in the body, the focus is much more on spirituality and high consciousness, high awareness of extraterrestrials, particularly if that's where the soul came from, or aware more of real spirituality, if that's where the walk-in came from. Anyway, the education begins usually a few months after the walk-in has entered the body and the initial adjustments have been made, and anything wrong with the body of the original person has been healed. That's usually the first object, the first program that the walk-in attends to. Get everything healed in that body so that they can go on perfectly well and do the work that they came to do. So we have walk-ins who we may not even know are walk-ins, but they are giving webinars and they're holding conferences of a higher consciousness nature. And they're giving radio interviews and they're writing books. They're just educating people as much as they can in a whole variety of ways to really raise and expand their consciousness. And one of the things that they do is to really educate people about the extraterrestrial beings who exist and more information about them, what they're like, what their lives are all about, what their intentions are when they contact human beings. So there's a lot going on right now, and I think it is really wonderful. I think we're really benefiting from that.
Do you feel
Yeah.
kind of, maybe this is a little off subject, but do you feel that Bigfoot or Sasquatch is from the other planets or something? Where do you feel they come in? Because I know a lot of people think they're dimensional. So, I mean, are they coming here from another planet, or have they always been here? Or do you know about that?
That's a fascinating subject. I am so interested in that, and I learn everything I can. I have regressed people who've had experiences with the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, and then I hear from other people who have investigated them. I think that they are interdimensional. In other words, they really, at times, are big, strong physical beings living in our forests here on Earth, all over the Earth. They're reported just about everywhere, certainly all over the U.S. And so they are seen, and more are photographed or videotaped, which is great. I've seen quite a number of those. And they leave footprints, the Bigfoot footprints. And not only that, but they leave little artistic designs on the ground, designs made of sticks and twigs. And I personally have seen quite a number of those that were just left on the ground. And I mean, people could have done them, but people probably didn't do them. And they're way off in the woods, too. So they, of course, keep themselves hidden very, very much. But there are some reports of Sasquatch actually being quite friendly with people and visiting them again and again over a period of many years if the person lives right near or at the edge of a forest. And so anyway, there's, I think, a lot of good in the beings. And to be sure, some of the beings have been seen walking along and then just suddenly not being there. It seems like they just sort of pop out into another dimension. Now, one of the women I regressed, who had a Bigfoot experience, she was on the island of Kauai, one of the Hawaiian islands, and she was walking along the beach. She was actually camping on the beach, and she walked along the beach one day, and suddenly there was a Sasquatch who popped out of the dense woods that were right there at the edge of the beach, and they had a conversation. And the Sasquatch being said, yes, we're sometimes here, as right now, and we're sometimes not here. And when we're not here, It's because we stop our physical nature and we go up in like a little tunnel up in the air, up into what you call the sky, and to where we belong, up there. And then, when we want to, we come on down without a body through that tube and then just manifest the body. And it's always a big, sturdy, hairy body of a Sasquatch. And they said this female Sasquatch said to my client, we are always here for good. We're very concerned about your nature. We're concerned about your forests. We live in the forests. That's a good place for us because we can be unknown, unseen mostly in the forest. And we take care of the forest. We are here on Earth when we're here to help nature on Earth because there's so much going on Earth that is destroying nature. We all know the many reasons for that. And we're very concerned as that technology increases more and more all over the Earth. The natural aspects of Earth are being whittled away. So we're here to protect the nature that remains. And that includes all the beings in those natural settings too, in the woods and forests. So I think that they are really here for good, a good purpose. And yes, I think that they are multidimensional, definitely so. And I regressed a woman once who actually was up at the Seti Ranch up in Washington State, southern Washington State. And there was a big field there between the encampment of people and Mount Adams, where a lot of UFOs come out every night and fly around from Mount Adams. Anyway, she had gone to bed in her tent at the edge of the field and got up to use the outhouse. And while she was just about to get back into her tent, she said something and turned around and she saw a big Sasquatch walking across that field. And this was very late at night, probably 3 o'clock in the morning or so, and nobody else was out. And anyway, the being, the Sasquatch was walking across the field, and when he noticed that she, hundreds of yards away, was seeing him, the Sasquatch just started to fade away, and within a couple of seconds appeared to be totally gone. That's what she saw. So that means that he probably went into his non-physical state, his other dimensional state of being, and may have left up through one of those invisible tubes that they travel in, or not, but anyway, was not able to be seen. That was quite thrilling for her to actually witness that. She had heard of that, but here she was in the middle of the night actually witnessing it. And I think witnesses for these things are always very, very helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a family in my backyard
Oh,
of
really?
Sasquatch. Yeah. I have like 3 different smells that I've been smelling. One
Oh,
is a
okay.
more stronger of a skunk with the musty kind of smell.
Right.
Another one is more musty and a little bit skunky. And the other one is just kind of a soft musky. So I think that's the little one. I've
Oh.
gotten a little footprint and a larger footprint in my backyard. Um,
Have you
so
ever
I've
been
got
able to
pictures of
see
those.
them?
No, I haven't seen them, but I have left out some things for them. I've left out some letters, and I'm like, okay, I know you guys can hear me and all. So if you can just let me know you're here, move something
Oh,
around or something. And the next morning, yeah, there were some letters that were moved around in the that I set out for them. So that
oh,
was
that's
really
wonderful.
cool. Yeah, and
Yeah,
so I've got the footprints.
that's
I've got
wonderful.
That's amazing. If you can send a picture of the footprints to me, I'd love to see it. I bet they're just adorable. Wow.
yeah, absolutely. The little one was a lot younger. You could kind of tell because the imprint wasn't as deep. But the bigger one,
Uh-huh.
I would say, is kind of like I get the I get the number like mid 20s. So it's a
Okay.
he is mid 20s. I haven't really met the wife yet or the mate. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
they do marriage or what, but the mate,
I don't
I
know.
haven't really met her yet, but I have the feeling the little one is a female. So I've
Huh.
been asking for them to give different signs, like where my bedroom is, I have a swamp cooler. So I'm like, okay, Dad, you tap on the swamp. Mom, you tap on my window. And Littlefoot, you tap
Ah.
on the wall. So I can tell who's who if they come by and talk. So
Now,
I haven't had that one yet
do you
with
just
my
say
wife.
this with your words?
Yeah,
These requests, you just
mine.
say them out loud?
Yeah. Or in my mind,
Oh, that's
you know.
wonderful.
So I kind of
Oh, that
communicate with
is so
them.
great.
Yeah, so I've gotten
Do
some
Yeah,
you
things
live
I've set out and
do
all.
you, do you
Go ahead.
live in the woods or near the woods?
I'm in the
No?
city.
In the
I'm in the
city.
city. Yes,
Oh,
I'm in the city.
wow.
I have houses. I live in the middle of a cul-de-sac, so I've got houses all around me.
Wow.
So yeah,
So
it's been,
that means that amazing that the Sasquatch are there. I talked to some people in New Mexico when I was speaking at a conference there, and one of the ladies said that she lived in the middle of that town, but it's a very rural town and not very big population at all. And it's near Archuleta Mountain. And she said that she has Sasquatch in her backyard. She lives in a big trailer, and in back of it, but in the town, that there is a group of Sasquatch who live there. And I don't think she communicates with them as much as you do. I think it's wonderful. And I know that people can communicate with them in various ways. There was a woman I regressed who had been camping on Kauai, that same island. This is a different woman. She'd been camping in a little tent, and she knew that there were Sasquatch there in the woods. And she was camping on a beach, but very, very near the woods. And so she left out like a big legal size pad of paper and a crayon, and wrote a little message, something simple like, "Hello, Sasquatch, welcome," or something like that. And then
mhm.
in the night, she could hear footprints walking all around her tent and then stopping where the pad that she had left and the crayon were on the ground right by the tent. And there was silence for a little bit. And then she heard footprints walking away. And she didn't see anything, but she heard it. So then in the morning, she got out of the tent and went over to the pad, and it said, "Friend," and a real human English
Awesome.
word. Yeah,
Yeah.
she felt, oh, just
That's
so
so
pleased.
sweet. Oh.
It is sweet. It is sweet. So
Yeah.
apparently, at least with some of them, maybe many of them, they can understand the language of the people whose country they are living in. And one person or several people have suggested that perhaps when humans are camping in the woods or even just outside of the woods, that the Sasquatch are very aware, usually don't show themselves, and usually are very, very quiet while they're watching the humans. But they listen to the humans talking, and they pick up some of our English language. And it's, not like complete sentences, but necessarily, but words here and there, and that they are able to write them, or in some cases, even sort of growl them. They don't have voices like ours, but they do have voices. And people can, once in a while, people who really are very familiar with them can understand a few words that the Sasquatch say. So I think that's a wonderful thing too, that in the universe this is going on, that on planet Earth, that there are more people, not a whole lot, but there are more people who are really interested in them, caring about them, don't want to just hunt them or, claim a great big prize specimen, but those who really care about them, are really interested in them and want to be friendly with them, and that they are finding that the Sasquatch can really respond to that they want that too, to some extent. So that too is just a fantastic phenomenon that's going on in
Yeah,
our world.
I got like those little alphabets with the magnets on it for little kids and for
Oh,
the fridge
yes.
magnets. I got a bunch of those, or a couple sets
Oh,
of
yeah.
those. So I have that out there for them to communicate with me. And I picked up some numbers so
Oh,
that they can, put out trying to get how old they are and everything, but nothing yet. But yeah,
They said
they do
green
protect.
apple. Put green apple out. Green apple. I heard they like green. I don't know if you've heard about that. Yeah, they like
Yeah.
green apple. That's what I've heard that before. And I just want to tell Miss Barbara, Dana is also a star seed. She's a psychic medium as
hmm.
well. I don't know if you know about that, right? Am I correct, Dana?
I have done some mediumship automatically. I haven't realized that I've done it until afterwards.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, I've
I
done
saw
a
that
lot
on
of
your
different
channel and I
things.
was like, well,
Yeah,
yeah, and
I've
we are connection with the Gray Collective, right? Like having those experiences that the Grays
yes,
visited you, right? Am I
yes.
right? Do you want to share that with us? I'm really interested in getting into that too.
Me too.
No
Barbara is an
problem.
expert on all that. You wanted to bring it up to Barbara, so go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
this is cool. This is cool. No, when I was 6 years old, my grandma had 10 acres of land out in the middle of like nowhere.
Hmm.
Um, and so she had a barn and her house. They were like a little bit of a distance. It was far enough where you can get in a car and drive over to the barn, but close enough you can walk with no problem. So as kids, we would always walk out to the barn, go the straight path and go out. But she had three of the 55-gallon barrels that she would burn her trash in. And so
Oh,
I was
yeah.
walking by those one time and looked over and I saw three little faces poking up out of them, just like from here up. Three little faces
Oh,
scared the daylights out of me.
oh,
Okay.
yeah. Because they look
Scared
so
the
different.
They're
right.
silly. The Grays are silly.
And I was by myself
Wow.
walking out there and I'm like, you know, um, and then around the same time frame in the road near the barn, was a single footprint. And there was like about four of us. My cousins were there too. So there was about four of us around this footprint. We're all looking at it, bent down and everything, looking at it. They're all saying, oh, it's just dad's footprint. But I'm sitting here, I remember thinking, this is way too big to be dad's footprint.
And it was probably bare too, like with
No,
toes. No?
no, no. I believe it was Bigfoot. I
No, but
believe
it
it was
looked
Bigfoot,
like a barefoot.
a big foot,
B
like a,
B B-A-R-E, barefoot,
right,
rather than a shoe
right.
print.
And you could
Well,
see
it was,
toes, is what she's saying. You could see the toes
yeah,
instead of the shoe.
it was
Yeah.
more of like a shoe. So a lot like
Mhm.
what I have in my backyard. It was more just kind of flat, like there was a shoe on it.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
interesting.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we saw that, and then it's like, okay, I am never walking out to that barn by myself ever again. And I never did. I never
Oh,
did.
right. I
Um,
can
for the
understand
rest of
that.
her time there, I didn't. But anyways, then I nothing really happened until I was like 22 years old, and then I moved into my first apartment.
Oh,
And
uh-huh.
as a 22-year-old, not in the greatest of neighborhood, but happy to have a place of my own, right?
Sure.
I always had the phone right next to my head so that if anything happened, I can call.
Uh-huh.
And I worked nights, so it wasn't uncommon for me to be up in the middle of the night. But I'm hearing one night a Siamese cat outside. I hear there's a connection with Siamese and the Greys. But, anyways, I heard this cat and I'm like, okay, it's a cat. Then I started hearing what I thought was firecrackers inside the trash bin outside the window, outside my window. And I'm like, okay, just, people out there having fun. It's summertime, so they're out there having fun. And I still had my eyes closed. And then for some reason, I opened my eyes and I had a gray out my window on the outside. Third floor, I lived on, flat building.
Oh,
So
wow.
I knew there was like nobody going to get in that window, right? But there was a
Yeah.
gray outside the window. There was two at the end of my bed, one on the side
Uh,
of my bed, two, three at the end of my bed, one on the side of my bed, and one in my closet.
oh, wow. A lot of them.
Two of them
Yeah.
surrounding me. And waking up and seeing this different beings in my room kind of like puts a shock in a person, especially
Oh,
knowing you're
sure.
by yourself and young.
Right.
So in my head, telepathically, I was starting to scream, call mom. I just kept repeating that,
Ah.
call mom. Okay. My mom lived about 30 minutes away from me. She's not going to get here in time for
No.
to do
And
anything.
what could she do
What
if
could
she
she do?
could? Yeah, yeah.
Right, exactly, exactly. But so I'm sitting here, call mom, call mom, and I was paralyzed. All
Wow.
I could move was my left hand, just the wrist and the fingers and my eyes.
Oh, wow.
But I remember really struggling, trying to move my hand so I could reach the phone, and I
Oh,
could not do it.
This is
ah,
in Colorado, right?
Yes,
This is still in Colorado. Okay, just
yeah,
location wise, yeah.
that was in Westminster, Colorado, when that
Okay,
happened, and that's a city. That's in the middle of a city.
too. Yeah.
Um, and so nothing really fully happened except for, missing time going to work. I'll tell
okay.
that because it might be part of the story. Um, I lived at this time, I lived in Thornton and I was driving to Stapleton Airport, if anybody remembers where that was in Denver. And that's like a 30-45 minute drive, and I took the back road, so I always had all these multiple turns and everything. Well, I walked out of the house one time, locked the door, and I do not remember anything by turning around, walking out to the street, getting in my car, driving that 30 plus
Hmm.
miles and whatnots, multiple turns, parking in the parking lot at work, walking into the building, which was a short jaunt, um, having the morning meeting, or even punching in, even none of that. And then I suddenly remember talking to the guys at work. So there's nothing in between there that I
Oh,
remember. So I don't know
ah,
if that's part of this or not. So then I get married
how much, how
later
much
on.
time, excuse me, how much time seemed to go on between driving and then being at work?
That was about like a 45-minute drive. And with that, probably 45, about an hour and 15 minutes, I'd probably say,
Oh, okay.
altogether.
So it's very possible in that period of time that you were taken for something or visited without being taken, and without being conscious of it.
What I'm hearing is she is connected with the hybrid program, Barbara.
Ah,
Yeah, she has you have I think I mentioned that to her. But you do have a connection. It was you were just not supposed to wake up. They've gotten better at it now. They apologize. They apologize. That was like still they were learning and they try to paralyze you. It's a clumsy situation and you wake up and they freak out and you freak out and you scream and they scream.
yeah,
It's
right.
it's that kind of thing. This one isn't negative. Some people think maybe it's negative. I don't. Barbara hasn't really. She's one of the people that says that she personally hasn't really experienced much of this horrific kind of thing with Grace, right? Barbara, you said most of your experiences have been positive from your
Oh,
regressions.
yes, and I think that most of the hybridization situation is positive too. It's just that it's very freaky for people who are just finding out about it.
People just wake up. You're not supposed to wake up. So you have one eye and one hand, and you're this, and they're trying to figure it out, and they're not human, and there's just too many chefs and too many cooks, one food. That's what.
Right, yeah, yeah.
So they apologize, but you are connected with this program, and at the soul level, you've had a contract to connect, and you still do. This is what I'm hearing simultaneously. Uh,
I'm not too worried about it
Yeah,
after.
you're good, and you're
Yeah,
still doing that. And Barbara has
yeah.
much more experience in like different how much time people are experiencing. I don't know, but I just know they're apologizing to me to tell you that they are not that was not supposed to happen, and we're sorry, and we've gotten better at it. So,
No,
I just
here's one thing though. Later on, I realized, and I look back to that, and I realized that they were actually they were protecting me because there were actual shotguns going off, what I was hearing, and not firecrackers. Am I correct? Are they
Oh,
saying, is that what they're getting?
yeah, was it a bad neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there was a shoot. There was a there was something going on.
Yeah.
gunshots.
They were protecting you because you're a star seed and you also have your own mission, right? So they were there to. What they're saying is they rushed. They rushed to the scene. That's what they say. I used to be a nurse. I was a medic before that, and they're telling me, you know how you go to the scene and you rush to the scene, and we rushed to the scene, and there was a lot of clumsiness, and we stumble over each other. I definitely recommend having a regression with Barbara because my own personal experience so much more opened up when we did the regression. Like I had just mild and faint memories, but after I had my regression, it was so clear. And she's so, the way she does it, she makes you feel so comfortable. And we just go there. We went to the ship and it was wonderful. So I definitely recommend doing that to see more. But yes, there was something unsafe and they were there to make sure that you stay alive.
And I
So
felt that. Yeah. After I moved into my current home, they came and visited me again individually. Um, one night I'm laying in bed and I feel them at one of them at the end of the bed. And so I opened my eyes and they were gone, but I felt that they were looking at me. So one of them was there looking at me. Another night, same thing. I felt that one of them at the end of the bed, but this time they were watching my husband.
Hmm.
And another time I felt them in the shower. They were behind me in the shower. So when I turned around to see what I was feeling, they weren't there. But then after that, shortly after that, I saw a shadow person in my bedroom.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, enough of this, still
Yeah,
learning
yeah.
about shadow people. So I'm not as horrified about them anymore. I'm learning a lot. But I went and I smudged my house and I haven't seen the grays since or any shadows since.
Oh, okay.
So when I did that, I'm like, okay, the grays are here helping me. They are protecting me because there was something in this house that they had to come and protect and watch over us to make sure we were safe. So I
That's good.
always had like a positive feel with the
That was my
grays.
experience too. When I had it, there was another ship that was maybe not positive. That was they. It's always like when they want to do an experience with you, there may be other entities or interdimensional beings, or whether they're artificial or biological. They want to know what's going on, and sometimes they're collecting. It's the universe, right? You still have the pillars of dark and light. It's a dance, but you are connected with the hybrid program. The grays are, if they're not metallic, again, maybe Barbara has different experience than me, but I understand is if they're not AI or they're not like, they usually are connected with that collective, and they're here to, hybridize and have more genetic, and you may be a part of that. And I hear that you're friends with the mantis mother even. That's what they're telling me. They're like, and you told them to come mess with you. Like, honestly, like this is what they're like, we told her, like, we don't want to scare you and stuff. And it's just so
Yeah.
much your personality, Dana. You're like, oh no, just come mess with me. It's fun. Just come on
Yeah.
down. Like play with me. I like it.
And
That's
I've
what
seen them in
I'm
my
hearing
third
them
eye.
say.
I've
Yeah, yeah.
seen them when I have my eyes closed. I've seen the mantis and I've seen the gray. I've seen all kinds of
Yeah,
different.
you're very friends with, I don't know if you personally have Mantis connection, is what I'm picking up to, or you're just very, very connected with, you just really like the Mantis mother that you're working with. And Barbara and I, in my regression, have been seeing a lot of this majestic beauty of the Mantis mothers as they are as part of the hybrid program. I don't want to ruin the movie. Maybe we'll share more of it later.
Right. More for
Yeah.
you to know,
Yeah.
Dana.
Yeah. It
More
would
for you
be
to
very
find out about.
interesting. It would be
Yeah.
very interesting to know, who I'm part of. I have been told, I don't know, but I've been told that I do have mantis in me and I have Lemurian in me. I have gray in me, and there's one more. There's one more I can't remember right now. But
I'm getting
they
Lyra. Is it Lyra? I feel a lot
yeah,
of Lyra, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I feel you're very ancient soul. Most of us are, a lot of us are. Barbara's a star seed too, obviously, or she would not be doing this
Yeah.
work.
Devoting my life to doing
Yes,
this.
for sure. I think we've done this, and she is an instructor in the Galactic Federation. I've told her this before too. Like, she's an instructor. Like, she teaches a lot of different beings and this regression stuff, but way more technological. She's part of those programs in the Galactic Federation. So most of us all are masters, and everybody who I've done Galactic Akashic readings for, a lot of people have these higher level, kind of work, being part of the hybrid program, doing this type of work, creating frequency, creating color. A lot of starseeds love my glasses because we really like they're like, oh my gosh, these are so cool, because sometimes we mess with color. We like that. We're sending, So there's a lot going on, and all of us are here for our, of course, for the beautiful Mother Earth. But as Barbara mentioned, it's the diversity, it's the amount of history that this planet is currently holding. It's almost like magic. It's never been done before. So it's cool that we got a body, although it gets hard sometimes. Very,
Yes,
most of the time.
yes.
Most of the time.
You talking
Yeah.
about your glasses and the colorings, it made me realize that's why I don't have a favorite color, because you got to have multiple colors to make something beautiful. And it's not just one color is my favorite color kind of thing. It's like you have to have multiple, like at least two colors together to make something beautiful. So it's like that pairing or the meaning of number two, it's that pairing and communication with each other. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's part of all of this too. Is
1000% with star seeds too, like you have different colors, even it's not just this, and we see this as alchemy and frequency. I never had a favorite color. I was like, why do I have to choose one? I like gold, I like red, like I like the blue sky. Like it was just always like, why? So we're challenging, right? We're challenging everything as star seeds of like bringing 5D consciousness mentality of who said that we have to have one color? Who said we have to have one favorite thing? I
Right.
mean, I went after the Myers-Briggs and my psychology degree. I was like, why do you think that people should have one personality forever? They should change and evolve. And maybe if they're extroverted, they want to be introverted now. And, so it's like so boxy, everything. So good job. Keep challenging.
Right. And even the Myers Briggs recognizes that if you take that test 1 year and then maybe take it 10 years later, you might have a whole different result, because you've changed over that time.
The
oh, I
issue
know I've
is
changed.
people don't think that. Like I work with people and they take that and it becomes their identity and they don't allow themselves to move forward to do different things. Most people maybe probably they're not as like, into it as we are, Barbara, you and I as but I see normal people, they literally like, I'm this is my thing. I just got a job here and this is my Myers-Briggs, like
Right.
forever.
So that's it.
They don't take
Right.
it again. They
Yeah.
don't take it again.
Right.
I've definitely learned a lot once I've learned about all of this stuff and where it can lead. I definitely have learned a lot. And I do periodically have this time where it's like, I feel the shift. I feel I'm moving forward. And
Huh.
to me, it feels slow, but I know it's on the move. I know I'm growing. I'm getting there. It's been a great
Good.
ride.
Oh, wonderful. Nice. So nice that you're really open to that rather
Oh, I
than worrying
yeah,
about it or fighting it.
no, I'm excited about it. I'm like so open for things. I want to see more cryptids. I've seen two other cryptids outside of Bigfoot, and it's like my neighbor's telling me we have a possible portal right at the end of our street. It's like she
A
gets all kinds
portal?
of weird stuff. Yeah, she gets all
Oh,
You
kinds of
have
weird
wow.
one in your
stuff when she drives
backyard.
by. Yeah, my backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, you have one in there. I noticed you have one in there. It's not bad or anything. But your galactic family, sometimes they use that. Or you use that when you sleep, you astral travel. Sometimes you go through that portal.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember now? You're getting caught up, but it's the galactics. When they come through, we have a lot of spirits and they mess with the internet. You got a lot of energies around you in your screen right now.
Good. Good. They're all here. Let me show you. I have a partner in crime in my podcast. His name is Eugene.
Oh.
Eugene. Hi,
Eugene.
Eugene. See you, Arcturian. I've got
Oh.
a I have to bring Balman, my Arcturian
Ah,
guy, too.
wow.
Hello.
Nice
Hello.
colors.
Beautiful outfit, huh? Well, my
Very
alien says
awesome.
hello to your alien.
Was that made by Cynthia Crawford?
No, there's another well, I cried. I was so sad that Cynthia Crawford passed away and I never got one of those and I was looking at all those pictures and I wanted one so bad. And then I channeled Cynthia and I was complaining to her and I was like, "What is this? You died before I even find out about you."
Uh,
I was just so upset. She brought me this guy. This literally was like suggested to me when I was shopping online, and he's a star seed. He doesn't know it. He's like, I just do these for fun. I'm like, you're channeling them because I purchased them from him and I'm gonna help him sell them to people. He was like, no, I don't have the energy. I was like, listen, you're channeling these. And Cynthia told me, I told you I was going to find you somebody. So here we go.
uh,
Here we go. And it's like an oil burner, and it's so beautiful. Like I really feel
yeah.
so much energy coming from him.
Ah, he
Beautiful.
Um,
probably channels them.
yes, he does.
What is
Absolutely.
his name?
His name is Eddie.
Eddie. Hi,
Oh, there
Eddie.
was an Eddie who there was an Eddie who just texted me yesterday, I think,
Interesting.
for a regression. He just said Eddie. He didn't say his last name or anything.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, this is Eddie. Well, that's how I know him. I don't know his last name, but he told me. I was like, "Well, I do a lot of galactic work, and do you know what a star seed is?" He's like, "No, I just kind of like ETs." And I was like, "Okay." He's so like, but Cynthia told me, "Please help him sell these, because he's channeling them." So then I sent him stuff and I was like, would you do another type of ET? So he's looking at the Lyrans. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Very
But
Oh,
cool.
because I told him, I was like, do you want me to help you make a website? He's like, no, but you can sell them if you want to. We can work together. And so I might put these on my website, at least the Arcturians, because of my own connection. And then we'll start there and see if others are feeling a connection. But they are all beings. Each one of them are different. Like you can see their faces. They're just a different type of energy that come from
right.
me. Just like Cynthia. I wish I could have those, but.
Oh, I'm so glad that somebody is doing them now.
Yeah, well, he's like, I don't want to do them in bulk. I'm just doing it for fun. Like, I was just like, just do them whenever you feel like it. No, it's okay. Which is so beautiful, right? It's not more
Very
like a business, so I need to do this. He's truly bringing this in because it's just an interest of his. And it's like the most perfect type of authentic art, I think.
Oh, that's good. And
agree.
where is he located?
I don't know. I've got to ask.
Online.
We need to bring him to the interview next time, right, Barbara? I probably should ask him these questions
Ah,
because I didn't want to creep him out. I'm like, where do you live, guy? Like, I was just like,
right.
but it was just this brought it to me. It was this very old, like not at all high tech website, and there was a bunch of different sculptures on there, and there's an ET, and I was like, oh my god, what is this doing here? I just bought it. And I was like, do you know what this is? And I Cynthia, I was like, was that you? She's like, that was me. I told you I was gonna find you somebody.
Oh,
So
do you think she channels through him?
I think that she's helping, but he's a star seed. He is his you know how when you said we just like these things. When we see ET things we like it because there's a reason we are connected to them. Maybe your audience can see that. Sometimes like I met a guy who this is random. I wanted to tint my car windows because it was Florida and it was hot. And I go there and then I was like, are you into ETs? Like I'm picking up some stuff for you. He's like, I think they're cool. And then he pulls up on his calf, he has a big green ET tattooed.
Oh,
It was just like, buddy, do you know why you did that? Like, you definitely are a star seed. He's like,
Wow.
no, I just thought they were cool. I was like, no, we don't just think they're cool. Our soul is connected to the stars. That's why we just are into them. We get obsessed about them, you know? But
My
yeah, so I
husband,
don't know, Barbara. I'll ask you. Oh,
my husband laughs at me because we'll go to a garage sale. And if we go to an estate sale, I walked up on the sidewalk of one of them and then like my stomach went all funky. And I'm like, oh, something happened here. Something had to be with the stomach area, right? So I
yep.
went up and found the people that was working with it. I go, did the person that lived here have stomach issues or something like that, or anything along that line? And they're like, no, but I had surgery in the stomach area. I'm like, well, there you go.
Oh, and you
And
picked up on that.
I picked up on it, and like some people, I'll just I don't talk to everybody, but there's just certain people that I just kind of like, hey, yeah, you into this spiritual or paranormal stuff, and we'll start talking. And my husband's like, find these people. it just you just
Sorry,
know.
we lost you. What did your husband? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is your psychic abilities, right? Your psychic
Uh-huh.
mediumship coming on. Your kind of like feeling them, the empathy, the clairsentience and things like that, clairaudience and clairgustance. If you taste things, when I do mediumship, like sometimes I taste blood. It means someone had like there was some type of blunt trauma. That's how like you did with the with Sasquatch. You kind of program the dead. You're like, okay, if you died suddenly, give me a little bit of taste of blood, and then they just kind of. It's not creepy. It's just very subtle. It's very subtle. Or like all of a sudden, I feel my chest. I can't breathe, and I know that someone died from a respiratory or cardiac arrest.
Hmm.
So be notice these things when you feel them or your audience because that's them opening up to allowing. But you can always say, "Hey, enough. I only sometimes I'm like 20%. I can't. Please don't bring in the 100%." So just something you can ask, "Hey, too much, enough. Give me 10% so I can receive the information and then cleanse your body from this feeling because then you can hang on to other people's pain."
Okay.
Just a little bit of thing. I don't know what your audience is, or are they into psychic mediumship? And a lot of people are into that. So, a little fact.
They're a little bit of everything. I have the paranormals. I'm
Okay.
looking at finding a paranormal investigation group in my area so I can start doing that, possibly even doing tours. I'm thinking that's in the brain right now is applying for doing
That's
tours around.
Oh,
So,
neat.
yeah, see if
Because
I can
there's a
get my
lot of
hands
ETs
dirty
in
now.
Colorado. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
ETs like in certain parts of the mountains, right? Like if you do, have you looked into CE5, Dr. Greer?
I have looked into that. Yeah, there's nobody in this area. It's like crazy. I haven't found anybody in this area that does CE5s or any of the paranormal investigations on it more permanent. If you're out there,
You can start your
I
own
need to.
group. You can start your own
Yeah,
group.
I need to learn it
You can
first,
start your
though.
own CE5.
I want to
Oh, no,
learn
everything is in
first.
the app.
It's all in the app, but
Mhm.
there's an app for that. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, there is an app for that. Literally, Dr. Greer, it's only $9, and his website has tells you 2, 3 hour videos on how to read and then how to connect and then the equipment. Like everything is listed if you're interested in doing it that way.
Okay.
Barbara has a great story. She started her own experiencer group many years ago that I was being inspired. I'm like, she's so brave.
oh yes. Well, I did a lot of experiencer support groups at conferences, starting in about 1994 or so at
Wow.
the International UFO Congress, that for many, many years, as long as that conference ran, many years, I was hosting experiencer support groups. And the first time, and I'm the one who convinced them that they ought to provide that, because a lot of people coming to UFO conferences were actually experiencers and were hoping with the lectures to find out more about the contacts, and usually weren't finding out about it from the lectures. And so I convinced the conveners to do a support group, and right away there were 50 people in there in that room, you know, not all wanting to share, but definitely wanting to be reassured by hearing other people. And then, gradually as the years went on, more and more of those people shared about their own experiences. And then some other conferences, UFO type conferences, started to hear about that and invite me to lead conferences at those groups. So now, hopefully, they're going on by other people. I'm not attending as many conferences as I used to, but it's a very good thing. I mean, people really need that, and it's great to have a local group. Like I had a local group in my home in Southern California that went on for I think 27 years until I moved away. And that was wonderful because it was a group in my living room, and we'd have a potluck supper. So it was just very congenial and relaxed and delicious. And then we just spent the whole evening just sharing and asking each other's questions and learning about it. And one time, artist Casara, Christine Dennett, she came, and anybody who wanted to would go into the other room with her for a while and describe the beings that they had seen, and then Casara would draw them in pastel so that she could make corrections easily. And they kept talking, and she kept drawing until it was the exact likeness of the being which the person had been having experiences with. So
Yeah.
that was really exciting, really,
Yeah.
really wonderful. Somewhere I
I
still have some of those pictures.
I saw somebody I'm related to. I did a meditation and I saw my mom, and
Huh.
I drew her. So I'll get it here in a second and show you if it'll come through. But she was very tall. I was her son, and we were about the same height. And I had just gotten home from work, and she
Just gotten what?
telepathically, I just got home from work, and
Okay.
my mom was standing just like in front of me telepathically, just giving me all this love, like, I am so glad you're home, I missed you so much,
Huh.
I just like I it was
Oh,
like forever since I've seen you, I'm so glad you're home. Just the love was so amazing, and
oh,
everything
wonderful.
was one color. She was the same color as the background sand, and the sands were like in a mountain shape, and the house was on the side. I'll grab my picture if you guys hold on a second.
That
Always
sounds really
so
lovely.
emotional when you meet your galactic family. It's so emotional. I
It
definitely
was
cried a
so
lot.
cool. I don't know if this will pick it up. Can you right there, maybe a little bit? So
No,
you
I
can
can only
see
see the white.
her right
Cannot
here.
see it. Let's see.
It's kind of really light, but it's she's right here, and the house was right here. And then the mountains are in the back, and everything was one color. It was a
Oh,
single color.
Yeah, I
It was
can't
like,
see it.
yeah, it's a little bit tough
well,
too. But was she like sort of sand color herself?
yes, she was sand colored, like a sand color with a hint of orange.
Huh.
it wasn't like just a sand color, but there was like a
I don't know if
and
it's Maldak or Mars. I'm getting maybe.
like from Mars. Hmm.
I don't know. See if that resonates with you. The redder beings.
Okay.
The red beings are from Mars, right? Barbara, have you had any beings with red skin? I
No,
see.
no, I have not been aware of that
Okay.
with the people who have come to me.
I've just recently it's come to my consciousness to explore the beings with red skin. I'm not sure if they're ancient, very ancient. If it's Meldic, I'm thinking maybe it's Meldic.
Oh,
Okay.
It was a planet that got destroyed.
I'm looking at my salt lamp. So she was about the color of my lamp. I don't know if this is gonna
Oh, I see. Okay.
right.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that orangey, sandy kind of coloring.
Okay.
So and they were all like that. There was no variation of coloring. It's like being in heaven and everything's all white, but you could
Oh, I
see the
see.
definition of what's what, but it's all white. It's just like that.
oh,
Okay. Maybe it was golden white light. It was a okay. They're like light body beings, not physical, right? That's what you're saying? Like light body, like corridor.
This was physical. I saw her as
Oh,
like
she,
a physical person, very tall, very long neck, very skinny. She just kind of stood there, long arms. So the long arms were very long. She was probably 7 foot tall.
okay.
I was about 7 foot tall, so we were kind of eye level. I was older, but yeah, it was like the love. She was just so loving.
I think it's a different planet. I would go on Vashta's website, Vashta Narada. I'll send you the link. And she has a lot of commissions that she's done for people's guides with many different ET looks. So you might see some a similarity. It may be Syrian, but I'm getting it's a different planet. It's not one that we're super familiar with. Do you get that
Okay,
too?
I know it
Yeah.
wasn't here. It felt in a different place.
It's in
Yeah.
this universe, but not in this galaxy and not Andromeda galaxy. It's a different galaxy, is what I'm receiving, the info I'm receiving. So it very cool. It's so beautiful when you meet them.
Yeah.
I cried a lot. Like I got so emotional, like a little baby. And it's like you have a mom on Earth. Like relax, girl. Like it's gonna be okay. But it's just being a baby.
Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
loved it.
just
I
being a
loved
baby.
it.
It's
It's
very emotional for all the starseeds that I do readings for. People feel very emotional. The galactics feel extremely emotional too. Like they're very emotional when they see us, when you're able to finally connect to remember basically. It's so cool.
that's
Uh,
amazing because I usually hear that uh, one of the reasons why they like to hybridize with us humans is because we have so much emotion. And some of them, many of them, really lack a lot of emotion. They may have some,
mhm.
but some of them don't have any at all and would like to add that to their species, to their offspring.
Yeah. Oh, they can't show it. I think, remember, Barbara, my hybrid children, we did a session for my hybrid children, and my children are like, everybody on Earth is gooey and moist. It was interesting. They're like, Earth is so gooey. It's our body fluid. But like when we cry, so the Arcturians, I felt the deepest levels of love with Lemurians too. So I personally have experienced them showing that love and emotion. Now they may not show it in their facial expression,
Right. Yeah.
or it might not
Yeah.
be wet when they feel sad. But for me, it was the extreme amounts of love from my Arcturian family. It was very emotional, and I felt them hugging me, and it was just very. But I'm
It
sure
felt like she was.
maybe the grays are known sometimes, or certain Orion species, but they're just more telepathic. It might not be as wet and like huggy, gooey, moist
Right. A lot of
as
them are not.
as
Yeah.
we are. But it's so I definitely recommend doing a regression with Barbara for the audience and Dana yourself. We've been uncovering a lot of cool things together.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
been a really awesome ride. I love the ride that I've been on. And it- see, I had another meditation and I left. I went up into space and I was just laying there and saw nothing. I couldn't see Earth, no nothing. It was just stars and darkness. And I was just laying down, spinning slowly, like I was just taking it all in. That's why I was there, because I was taking it all in. I was enjoying my family, my
Yeah.
home.
Good.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. Yeah, like Barbara, every time we do it, she's like, I've seen this, I've seen that with like so many years of experience. So
See, people,
I feel like I just love that because she just has done, she's like, oh, this is new information or this is not. It's super exciting. And hopefully you found out some new information today, Dana.
Yeah. Yeah, I
and
have.
so have
And
we. So have we.
So have
From
we.
you.
Yeah, it's from her, exactly.
Yeah.
so have you had,
Great.
here's another question. Have you had the Sasquatch come into your home and play with your things?
I have not.
I think the fairies and gnomes and stuff. I do have a gnome at the elementals mess with me. I know the fairies hide my stuff. When I'm doing a reading, this is an Andara piece, but when I'm doing a reading for people who have a fairy connection, usually that day the beings are around me, so I feel stuff move around or my key or so that's when the fairies start messing with me too. And I'm like, no, I need that singing bowl. Like I literally look at something, it's not there, then I look at it, it's there. So what's your experience?
Okay. So we
They're
have a
probably messing
swamp.
with you, huh?
Somebody is. And the first one I felt it was Littlefoot. So I'm in the kitchen, home by myself. I'm in the kitchen and I hear this tink. And I go into my bedroom and my husband has a collection of beer bottles and there's a couple cans up there. Been up there for 20 plus years. Okay. The swamp on, everything, nothing. I walk in, one of those cans had fallen and was on the other side of the room underneath the swamp cooler. That one there, I felt like it was Littlefoot coming in and just observing and just kind of like, oh, what's this like? Oh, what's this? That's what I felt that one was. But I have
It's also
recently,
your hybrid children. Your hybrid children are in your house. Yeah,
okay,
that's your hybrid children too. You are involved with the program. So they are there. They want to make themselves known. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, they are that's you feel like they're little, but they are your own children or the children that you constantly do go up there and work with. They come down and they're very curious.
yeah.
They mess with your stuff but I do see a lot of little grays around you. You may have be working with the hybridization, like they're just even tinier than your regular form, like
Yeah,
just
mine was
small,
like three
real
foot.
small species. But there's this; these are not grays. I think there's like real small. I see a real small being, super tiny being. But they're grown. But it's a super tiny being.
I do have a fairy garden I'm working on in the front yard. So I'm bringing that
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
And
good.
I do have, well, recently I've lost my license, my wallet.
Oh,
Oh,
And
oh no.
so I've
oh,
gotten everything all taken care of except for, a couple items. So
Hmm.
I'm still waiting for those to come in the mail. But so I went out, I got another wallet and I looked in there and there was the monies that was in my previous wallet was in this wallet. So is that my kids too messing with me? Or is that
Yeah,
the
who is this one?
wow.
This is an angel. This is your guardian angel. Sorry,
angel?
we're doing a reading. We're doing a reading here today. This is your guardian angel
Angel.
that did
Okay.
that. Yeah, there's a lot
Okay.
of different beings around us. Each person has thousands of guides, and sometimes they switch around. On top of like ones that you have a couple of guardian angels that really do stay with you, and they're not necessarily all from the angelic realm. They could be your ancestor or someone that have gotten training to get to that level to become one, and then they just choose to do this mission. You have
Okay.
an ancestor around you too, a great great grandmother that is always like your elder protector, sort of thing. I don't know if you ever feel like an elder woman energy around you a lot. She's your protector. And maybe now you're sensitized to pay attention to it.
Okay.
She likes rabbits and ducks. Do you buy? Like, do you collect? I don't know. That's what it's weird. I don't know. Like this like do you have white ducks or rabbits? Like I see these statues everywhere. I don't know. It's random, but
No,
that's
we have a lot of rabbits in our front yard.
there's a
Um,
lot going on. There's a lot going on around us. You're very protected, so don't ever be afraid if you have another experience.
oh,
Everything is aligned and you're fully protected.
I haven't been scared yet, but yeah, I feel very, very protected. Nothing that scares me that's
Good.
happened to me. So I feel good. I'm like, come on, show me something. Just go easy on the poltergeist stuff. Just go easy on that because I had to work into that one. So the can moving like it
Dana,
did
you
was like,
told them to mess with you. The Greys are like, you told us to mess with you. The reason you literally told them, you're like, come mess with me. I'm bored. Like, just come down. They're like, she said she wanted to play. We said no, we don't want to scare you.
good. As long as they're good, I think I will be all good. I mean, I'm not quite ready for any like real scary stuff, but if
Yeah.
it's all in good nature, I'm good. I
And
think
the
I'll be
shadow people, they can't touch you. They are just interdimensional entities that are everywhere, right? So just have discernment and protect yourself. But they really can't. You're in the physical. And with all the protection you have around you, it's never an issue. The being paralyzed and you hear people have these things. Oh, I was paralyzed and I saw. You know how? But it's because they messed up. Like it's not even. It was not intentional. They just literally. They just they didn't mean it at all. They didn't want to scare you. It's not bad.
that was
An
the
awful
first
lot of people
I'm getting
report that.
yeah, I'm getting a really heavy humming in my left ear right now.
Hmm.
Wow.
Well, if there's so much energy around you, we keep losing you. Everyone is there in your screen. You have a lot of beings there
Hi everyone.
right now. You keep Yeah, like there's so many people there. You're super connected. I'm so happy that you called your podcast the paranormal. Like it now
Yeah.
it's ready and Barbara and I are bringing in the spaceship and the galaxy and the she's a legend and we just it's just
It's all here,
it's all
all
here.
happening. Right.
I love it. I am so excited to keep moving on this journey. This journey has just been so much fun. I have been loving it, loving it.
Good.
And yeah, so awesome.
You're gonna find more of your people. Anybody who's obsessed with Barbara is connected with the hybrid program. Like if you like her, somewhere in your soul you are connected with the hybrids or hybrid children or hybrid program. Bashar too. A lot of people have a connection with the hybrid program that really, but Barbara certainly was one of the first who really wrote books about that. Because I was just like, no one else wants to talk about this, and it was just her. So
Yeah.
you are talking to the source experience, a person who way shower, here, and you're gonna find more
Yes.
and more of your people. Absolutely.
Well, you can always call and chat with me, or we can just, we can connect. I'll talk with you anytime. Anytime. I can talk about this forever. It's like I'm always so excited to learn more about it and experience more. And so, yeah,
It's wonderful that you're so open about it,
I love
open
it.
and receptive and not afraid. And I think that's just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been enjoying it. I've had things happen. It's like, did I just see that? you know, but it's like never scary. It was just caught me off guard. The Greys, they just caught me off guard because I knew nothing about this stuff at that time.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, I've seen a lot of pictures of you, all a bunch of you, and now I'm ready. I can expect almost anything to come at me, and it's like, as long as you're of the light, you're welcome.
Uh-huh.
It's like I will welcome you.
Good.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm
Just
excited.
opening up to your own multidimensional being. And it's always so beautiful when starseeds get to a point where we're like, I'm gonna own this. I'm gonna be the weirdo. I'll be the weird alien girl forever. So
Right.
continue
I
to be
will.
weird. Stay weird. Be the weird alien girl, you know?
You got it. I love it. I love all of this. People at work probably think I'm a little weird. I've got a couple of them I could talk to about this. And one of them's kind of like, okay, whatever. That's pretty cool, but okay, Dana. But it's awesome. It's awesome. I
They
love it.
don't
I
really
Bring them
they
to
don't
work.
really believe it.
I don't
I put
care if they
ETs
do or
in
not.
my on my desk. I don't care anymore. I just put them on. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the ETs.
Yeah, I have Sasquatch. I had a clipboard that opens up. I've got my Sasquatch stickers all over that, and yeah, I'm
I'm in Ohio, and they have a whole group of people that have these events. Like everyone's in. Like I think Hawken Hills. There's a lot of them here too. Giants and stuff in the Ohio area, the Midwest, and they
uh-huh.
have. Maybe I'll get information on that for you. It's this big group of people, and they're all into it, and everybody camps. Like I'll have to get the info on that for you.
Ah,
Sasquatch conference. Like everybody goes to it. It's like a religious thing.
well.
I went
So which
to up
state?
in Estes Park. They recently had a Bigfoot festival.
Oh, good.
So I went to that one because I was like, I haven't heard of this. So I
Find your
went to that
people.
one.
You're finding your people. All the weirdos. All of us coming together. You know,
I
And
love
there
it.
have
I
the
love
more
it.
the merrier.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Barbara.
there have been two Sasquatch conferences in Washington State, two which I went to and spoke at, and so it was in a very rural conference center, just way out in the wilds, and not near a town, several miles from the closest town, and a wonderful place with very dense woods all around. And
Wow.
we knew that there were Sasquatch there, and we didn't actually see them, but we saw lots of those little designs that they left on the ground for us. And they also left four little brightly colored marbles in the stump of a tree. And I noticed those as we were walking up to the outdoor amphitheater. And then when we came back a couple of hours later, they were gone. But somebody said, oh, they must have been put there by the Sasquatch because the Sasquatch love things like shiny little marbles. And they
And that
somehow
was
get hold of them, I don't know how, and put them around for people to know that they are there. And they left all kinds of little designs with twigs and little uh, limbs
Mandalas,
of
like
trees.
the mandalas and things with.
Yeah, and sometimes the little walnuts or uh, acorns, I mean, things like that, just natural things that they could get hold of, and would just definitely leave them right on the path that they knew that we would be walking on, so
That's
that we would
fabulous.
know that they were there. And we actually felt their presence often, especially in that outdoor amphitheater when we had lectures out there, because it was right in the middle of woods. And there was right near where the benches were in the amphitheater, just off in the woods a little bit, several feet off, there were two big trees. And then across the trees had been a great big thick branch laid across, notches in the tree.
yeah.
And this was all about, oh, probably 15 feet up in the air. So people couldn't have done that.
Wow,
And
yeah,
it was,
it sounds
you know,
like that's so cool, Barbara. This
yeah.
all the stories she has, like I just need all the stories. I'm like,
Ah,
please give me. They're so
let's
There are
cool.
a lot of them. So
yeah.
that was a really wonderful experience. And I think everybody felt the presence, even though we didn't see them. They're wonderful at, hiding themselves, being present, and yet hiding themselves with bushes and trees and growth, natural things. So they didn't impose on us, which we were sort of hoping they would. Oh, but then one time I had given a lecture one early evening, and then when that was over, I came out onto the little patio outside the building where I had given the lecture, and there was a group of men standing there, probably about 8 of them, and I said, what are you doing? Like, why are you gathered here? And they said, oh, we're talking to our Sasquatch buddy. And I said, oh, good, where is he? And they said, right here. And they pointed to a gap between two of those standing men. I
Uh,
didn't see anything, but they said he's right here. He's in his non-physical form. So I decided, okay, I've had a lot of practice in picking up energies, feeling energies with my hands and dowsing rods in England in crop circles. 27 years of doing that. And so I just sort of put my hands out and walked over to that gap. And
mhm.
I could really feel a difference in the energy, uh, as I got closer and closer. And right at the edge of the gap where allegedly the Sasquatch was standing in his non physical form, it really felt different. Like I found myself saying, oh, good, here he is, right here, sort of pressing into it a little bit just to be sure. And it really was a different energy. So I think the Sasquatch is right there. I didn't get to see him, but it seems like I got to feel him,
That's
feel
amazing.
feel his energy. That's the closest I've gotten to him. But I've regressed a number of people who've had direct experiences with Sasquatch in different places, different locations. One of them was one of the women I regressed at that Sasquatch conference She had had an experience when she was a little girl. She was probably less than 2 years old, probably about a year and a half or so at the most, a baby, in other words. And and we regress to a time when she was taken from her home, which was out near the woods. She was taken from her home by a big Sasquatch being. Her mother was in the other room and didn't even know it. And the little baby was taken and really described the feeling of being carried in the big, strong, furry arms and the hands of the Sasquatch, protecting her. And of course, she didn't know that was anything to be concerned about. And and this being, Sasquatch being, was very, very loving and very gentle, and took her to a whole group of them off in the woods in sort of an semi underground shelter that they had. And they passed her around. They just wanted to experience this little human baby. And they were all very gentle and very sweet. And she didn't know to be scared of them because she was so young. And they were just so sweet. And the fur, um, some of it felt a little rougher on some of them. Some of it felt a little softer and smoother on other Sasquatch. And so she was passed around all of them, and they held her and they rocked her and they made noises, sort of crooning noises that would sound very odd to us, I'm sure. But they just sounded, kind of mellow and reassuring to her. And then, after what seemed like a couple of hours or so, they just brought her back and put her back in her crib where she was. And then her mother came to check on her, and the Sasquatch disappeared immediately.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh.
So sometimes they can be outside of a house, I have heard, and then suddenly inside. And the person says, how did that being get inside the house? So maybe they sort of went into their non physical state and then reappeared in the house in their physical state.
Yeah.
That's
Such a
that's what I would
beautiful
get.
story. That's
Right.
so
And I have a friend back in the state of New York, up pretty far in the state of New York. And she was at one time, this was several years ago, going through a divorce, which she had not asked for. The husband had left her, and she was just very, very sad, grieving, inconsolable, and way more than anybody thought she should be. But anyway, and this went on for quite a while. So one time in her bed, in her home, a Sasquatch being came and visited her. She had been having lots of extraterrestrial experiences of her life. But at that particular point, it was a Sasquatch being who came in and just helped her to feel really consoled and wonderful. I think he picked her up and held her. Of course, she was an adult. Uh, but anyway, held her and maybe rocked her, comforted her. And the visit went on for quite a while. And because she'd had all the extraterrestrial experiences, she wasn't afraid of this different being, the Sasquatch being. And anyway, he left. And then after that, she said she just felt almost all cleared up from that terrible grief and realized that the Sasquatch is the one who had transmuted that grief into a feeling of peace and confidence. And she's gone on since then. So that's very touching, very heartwarming.
Yeah, that's
Right.
really awesome. That's really
Yes.
cool. We
Yes.
we volunteer at a place up in the mountains, a camp that we go up and we help clean up and get it ready for summer camp. And we were up there one time and I saw these trees that were like crisscrossed and all of that, like it was
Oh,
something that
right,
they would have done.
right.
And I'll send those pictures too. And then shortly after that, there was a fire that happened, and the whole it could have easily have taken that whole camp, but it
Oh,
didn't.
yeah.
It got very, very, very dangerously close to the main lodge. But I feel like that the Sasquatch was around and was protecting it and giving it
Maybe.
whatever they would do, yeah, to protect it. Another time while we were up there, there was a little dog, like she's no bigger than your computer. Very small dog had gotten lost. We went out on this search trying to find this dog. About 1 o'clock or so in the morning, they heard him outside the owner's cabin trying to get in. I
Wow.
think that was another either
Yes.
Sasquatch or something else that was out there that had brought this, protected this pup
Oh,
and
good.
brought it back to its owner.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when I go out there, I set out all these things, peanut butter and bubbles or something like that.
Good.
Green
Yeah.
apple. They say green apple.
I was told popcorn, so I put out popcorn for him. So
Miss Barbara said they like marbles too, so if you want to put some marbles out, shiny things,
Yes,
if
yes.
I go to garage sales, I'm going to start picking up a bunch of things for him, and um, so they have something to play with.
They're protecting you and your home and the land where you are. They're protectors too.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky that they are helping with the planet.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think we are.
I feel very good with them. Yeah. Ladies, I've had a great, great
We
time.
we can talk all day, everybody.
We could, we
Yeah.
could. I would love to have you both on if you both want to come back on. Come back on and we can talk some more because I know we have a trillion stories between all of us to be telling. So I would love to have you both back on and do this again.
Okay.
So
Sure.
Sure.
yeah,
Yes.
Great.
Thank you for
awesome,
having
Pleasure.
us. Thank you.
awesome. Thank you guys. Um,
Thank
yeah,
you.
if anyone else
Thank
out
you
there has
too.
any stories you would like to share, email me paranormaldana726@gmail.com. Talk to everybody next time. Bye.
Good. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Ahara. Bye-bye.